Hello, Pattern Realm. Jimi Hendrix here. I wasn't going to film today, but you know what? I see it's necessary. Because this topic, I think, is very important. We are one more from the penultimate of this series. And we need to talk about another obstacle. Are you ready for this? When your attitude clouds your mission. Okay. Yesterday, I don't know what it was, everything was going reasonably well. And then all of a sudden, and it's just the nature of bipolar disorder, my mood just goes off the rails. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Princess. Anyway, it went like this, and I was like, what am I going to do? I couldn't get out of it. I thought, well, what am I going to do? Do I turn to food? What do I do? So what I do is I go outside. The first thing you need to do is acknowledge that you're having this attitude deal. You're depressed. You're anxious. You know, you're having those negative thoughts. The important part, though, like Tony Robbins says, like Jim Rohn says, is not to stay there. So here's the second part. Breathe. And this is more than just, breath work. That's important, don't get me wrong. But it's so much more encompassing from that. Go do some stretches. Get out in the sun if you have sun. If you ain't got sunlight, maybe some good music or something. Or light therapy. Whatever it is, whatever it takes. See what you can do to get up and get about. Get you some fresh air. If it's too cold or too hot, I understand. But there's ways of dealing with it, okay? Now, here's the third part. Connect and change. Okay? I want to work first on the change. Change your emotional state. Okay? And I always have a fail-safe, and I know that among guys and people, there's sex jokes about cold showers. But as a personal development and success guru who happens to suffer from bipolar disorder, let me tell you something. Them cold showers work. It's like it hits you the center of the head, bang, bang, and turns on those neurotransmitters, the endorphins and norepinephrine and all that good stuff. I mean, it'll change your mood in nothing flat, and you're doing better. Okay. In fact, to be honest with you, I think when I get out of this, doing this, I may just take a short cold shower for good measure. Because sometimes we get in these moods and we got to be able to deal with it. Number 2, connect. And there's 3 parts of the connect. The first part is connect with the Lord. All right, now I can't stress this enough. Connect with the Lord. He holds the answers to your prayers. Get in the Word. Get in the good books that talk about Him and the good news of His gospel. Pray. Listen to some good talks. But whatever you got to do what you can to connect with the Lord. Especially to pray and receive His voice and receive His revelation. One thing, I woke up kind of feeling down this morning, and I spent about 25 minutes connecting with Him. And He said, you know what? I understand it's tough, but I'm giving you scriptures out to see, hey, Christ died for you, but it's true that we also live in a fallen world. We got to learn to be able to make it in this fallen world. And so connecting with God helps me see how to connect with it. The second part, and this is if you're married, connect with your spouse. Even if sometimes that spouse affects your mood, okay? And I'm not saying this in a negative connotation, because most of the time, I'm just going to be honest with you. It's not your spouse that's created your bad mood. It's you. But he said this, but she said that. Quit making it about them. Sometimes what you got to do is sit down and talk to them and actually connect. Find out what's up. If you tell them what's on your mind, they'll tell you what's on your mind. After a while of, separating and reasoning it out in your head, and the next thing you know, you connect. But I think the prerequisite before connect is to change your emotional state. If you can't change your emotional state, you're going to stay in that mood. And it's not good for you to stay with a bad mood and attitude, okay? John C. Maxwell said this, and I've had some Christian brothers in my co-ed fraternity when I was a kid that said this: attitude is everything. And it's true. So you got to do those things there. Acknowledge, breathe, which means exercise, water, sunlight, put some good things into you. Put some good things in your mind. And that's what was wrong with me, is I was putting negative stuff in my mind and letting it dilute my mind rather than to use my mind to come up with some good outcomes. And I know that sounds kind of crazy for most people. It sounds kind of nuts, and it's kind of like, man, Jimmy, you're giving me a complicated formula to deal with it. Sometimes that's what it takes. Another thing that helps sometimes is music. I tell you the type of music that lifts me up. I love listening to Toby Mac. I love listening to Carmen. I love listening to contemporary Christian music to feel the spirit. If I'm down anymore since I got married, I used to listen to heavy metal, not so much anymore since I got married because, well, quite frankly, being married changes things in your life. And there's more changes, and it's kind of like, how can I keep up? But if you keep up with an attitude like, oh, well, poor pitiful me, this ain't going good, that ain't going good, I can't do nothing right, I'm not good enough. I was getting at God about that this morning. He said, look, do you think I think anyone's good enough? He said, you're not good enough, you're not good enough just because of what your family thought of you. You're good enough because of what I think about you. So that's the thing. You need to have an attitude that has a connectedness with God. Because quite frankly, what that's going to do is give you the to say, I'm going to stop this. Bam, bam. Okay, yes, acknowledge it. But then breathe. Get out in the sun. Exercise. Drink some water or something else nutritious. Put good stuff in your mind. Change your emotional state. A cold shower sometimes helps me with that. Or good music. Sometimes it's a chocolate fix. Of course, my wife's trying to break me from the chocolate and soda. I gotta say good luck with that. But I will say this. If we don't fix our attitude, how can we go towards our mission? That's the big part. That's the thing that you need to drill holes to achieve the big enchilada in your mission, the final piece of the puzzle. If you don't have that, you ain't got a chance. And it's painful, I know, it's painful. But the only one who can fix your attitude is you. And of course the Lord, okay? He's the only one besides you that can save you. And I'm just saying this because I care. I was going to go buy just a canned old podcast from 2 years ago. And when I was having my attitude deal, it was kind of like the Lord's like, slow down. Jimmy, you need to talk about attitude problems. Because unfortunately, unless we keep it in check, because we can't control everything, but we can control how we respond. You know, by what our choices are, how we act, and how we choose to pursue happiness. Not how we react. That's the problem. If we go reactionary, it's like, oh, the attitude's poor. Oh, they just can't do anything right. I'm just not good enough. Oh, I just. That's dumb. Just stand that way. When you can do so much better, you're worth so much more. You're worth so much more. So listen to me. Do those things. Acknowledge it. Don't stay there for that long, though. I give it about 5 minutes. Then breathe. Go do some exercise. Fresh air. Drink some water. And then the change of connection. You know, take a cold shower. Listen to some music. Connect with God. Connect with a spouse or some friends in your faith community. Whatever it is. Do those things and your attitude will get better. I promise you. I promise you. It's worth your piece of the pie. Now, I hope you enjoyed watching. If you like what you hear, please subscribe. Become a part of Pattern Realm. Until next time, don't just sit there and take it. Build your dreams so you can take it. Do what others don't so you can be what others won't. And do what others won't so you can have what others can't. Choose, act, and pursue happiness. God bless you. Remember this, from the bottom of my heart, Kenny loves you. I really love you. God bless you, and please go out there and have a blessed day. Remember, I love you.